Hello, beautiful soul. How are you today? Would you believe me if I told you that two small birds taught me about trust and the power of love for life? This is our story. It was a beautiful and warm spring day, and I was sitting in my garden under the majestic flowering camellias near my small but very cute pond, starting to have my latte and ready to read my book. Robins are singing around me, and the scrub jays above me are busy as usual. All of a sudden, there is a great commotion above me. All birds are alarmed, and the jays are squawking loudly and crashing through the tree branches. I look up and I see the hawk hovering, waiting for the right time to strike. When suddenly down came some feathers and some leaves, a camellia flower, and not too long after, I hear a thump. I jump up and turn around, and I see a small baby jay on the ground in the flower garden, screaming and looking at me in absolute terror. She had been sacrificed and pushed out on the nest, I thought. I couldn't leave her there. I gently lifted her and brought her inside. She calmed down quickly, already trusting me and feeling that she was safe, especially when she saw my other rescue bird from the previous summer, Mimu, the starling, curious to see the new visitor. Rescuing bird had become a regular spring activity for me, so I already had baby bird food in the freezer. I mix up a batch, and when she's relaxed, I offered it to her, and she was happy to take it, even though she expected Mimu to feed her. That's when I noticed something was wrong. She was not able to sit properly and leaned forward, almost touching the table with her beak. I saw that her toes were in a fist. I gently tried to open them, but they were very tight. So immediately I went on the internet and found out that the issue could be caused by a lack of vitamins. So I put her in a cage that generally I have available and ran to the store. When I came back with the vitamins, she had become a balloon. I never saw anything like that before. More internet, and I learned that most likely she had suffered a ruptured air sac, which happens with trauma or a fall, and she definitely had both, which allows air to escape the respiratory system and collect under the skin. More internet, and I learned that the air sac can repair itself and that she needed to be kept calm and warm, although if the swelling was too extensive and interfered with her capacity to eat or even breathe I could puncture the skin and let the air escape. That wasn't a very fun thought. It's very important to use absolute sterile needles and iodine as a disinfectant. So back to the store, and finally I have all I need to help this little creature. First thing, releasing the air. Very uncomfortable at first, but she did not seem to notice, so it became a normal practice somewhat. Second thing, vitamin. Her feet opened immediately, like a flower. It was magic. It was amazing to watch. Releasing the air was done several times a day for 3 very long days. Keeping her calm was a challenge since she was full of life. I did not sleep very much those 3 days for fear that she would suffocate, because if I left her, when I was cooking, she would become quite big and tight around her neck and could not lift her head. So I had to watch her closely, and it was all worth it. She made it, and I named her Bubble. She grew up fast and strong, and knowing Mimu, the starling, that has all this routine every moment she was awake. When she started flying, and she began using the ceiling fan as a track for racing, and I knew she was ready to be released. She did not hesitate to get out of the house when I opened the door, and she was very happy to be outside. She hung out in the trees in the garden and continued coming down for treat, seemingly untouched from her past trauma. Eventually, she rejoined her tribe, and so did Mimu. He had lived with me for 16 months and had learned to talk And while I was so sad to see him go, I was also happy to know that he was also free and his trauma had passed. And he had found the courage to live the life that he was meant to live. The story had a happy ending. Bubble and Mimu found someone willing to help, and the courage of one helped the other take a chance. But what truly changed their destiny, though, was their own resilience, their willingness to trust, and their great desire to be alive. Sometimes we don't start in the best situation and we struggle, but if we focus on the magnificence of being alive, we can become more resilient. That focus can help us attract the right support to move forward and live the life we were meant to live. So I want to ask you a question. What step will you take today to honor your past pain, release it, and celebrate your present achievement? Remember to recognize yourself and your own courage and resilience and your ability to accept the help that moved you forward, whether it's from a friend, a stranger, or a higher power. I would love to hear what important lesson helped you take the first step towards change. Leave a comment below. Subscribe. I do believe in the power you have inside of you. Be in the light of your magnificence and be the change. See you soon.